Why don't we get everybody gathered in first to start off? We'll have a photo with the flag. We'll all hold the flag. So everybody come on up here, and we'll get the photo. Chief?
Clifford, or sympathies.
Okay. Come on and gather around behind the flag.
Here, Chief.
Okay. Here, Chief. Come on, Darlene. Everybody get in. We can move over this way, or
Pull this other way here for the picture.
a little bit. Oh, the short people here. Lower down for the short people. We can see everybody here. You shouldn't say that.
And just one more. Thank you.
Ribbon dress on? I can't fit it. I have on an orange shirt. Oh, yeah.
We'll give it to the gentleman.
But it's better than
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for that. So the order of business is we've had the photo, and I'll read the proclamation, raise the flag, and then we'll have words from Chief Bull, and if anybody from anybody else would like to speak from the TRC, you're welcome to come on up and say a few words. So thank you, everybody, for coming out. And the proclamation is for the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, which is in fact tomorrow. So, whereas the Government of Canada is committed to reconciliation and ensuring that the tragic history and ongoing legacy of residential schools is never forgotten, and whereas the Municipality of Sioux Lookout remains committed to acknowledging the tragic and painful history and legacy of residential schools, and whereas the Municipality of Sioux Lookout is committed to recognizing the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's call to action number 80 to establish a national day for truth and reconciliation, and whereas the Municipality of Sioux Lookout recognizes that the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation is but one small step in our journey to advance reconciliation, right historical wrongs, and reflect on how we can build a more inclusive municipality. And whereas the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation is an opportunity for all Canadians to reflect, learn, grieve, and take collective action towards reconciliation. Now therefore I, Doug Lawrance, Mayor of the Municipality of Sioux Lookout, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, as National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, and do commend its thoughtful observance in the Municipality of Sioux Lookout. And with that, I'll ask Chief Bull to help me raise the flag and then come to the mic.
Good morning. Before I begin, I wanted to acknowledge our Creator this morning, Lord Jesus, Kije Manadu, thank Him for this beautiful day that He's bestowed upon us. I want to thank everyone for gathering here today as we mark Truth and Reconciliation Day together. This is a time to remember the truths of residential schools, the pain, the loss, and the resilience of survivors who carried these experiences with them and still carry them today. For Lac Seul, these stories are not distant history. They live in our families and in the hearts of those who came before us. This day is also about honor. We honor the children who never returned home. We honor the survivors who continue to share their truths, even when these truths are heavy to carry. And we honor the strength of our people who have held on to the language, culture, and traditions through generations of hardship. Their courage is what allows us to stand here today with pride in who we are as Anishinaabe. The flag raising we took part in today is a powerful symbol of that remembrance. As the flag rises, it carries with it the voices of our people who remain standing. It is also a call to action to ensure that reconciliation is not only a word we speak, but a responsibility we live out in our daily lives. So today, let us commit to carrying this truth with us, not only on this day, but every day. Let us continue to listen and learn, not just for us, but for those who have survived, for those who never came home, and for the generations still to come. Reconciliation is our duty. Miigwech. Thank you. Just some thoughts. So anyways, there was a residential school just over that mountain over there, and which I attended, including some of us that are here. And back in 1951, there was a hockey team called the Blackhawks, and they became district champions in hockey. And a book came out of that. It's called Beyond the Rink. I recommend that everybody go out and buy it. My uncle was part of the team in 51, and they did a whirlwind tour of Ottawa, Toronto. They played some exhibition games, and they went by train, I believe. The mode of travel was different back then, and it chronicles their story when they met some of the hockey greats, and they did some games, and they lost a few and won a few. But it's good reading, and it's about our local history here. And I gave one to the mayor, and he's already finished reading it. So it came out in May. So and then there's this other photo that I brought with me is a photo of my father wearing the toque, and he's also went over to that residential school and spent the war years there, the war years in the 40s. And half a day school, half a day cutting wood and things like that nature. But one of the things that happened during the war as well that you may not know is that there was 2 prisoner of war camps over that mountain. There was one south of Cox Portage, and there was one north of Cox Portage, 2 prisoner of war camps in the 40s. So we had people living from Germany within our territory. So there's history like that people should know about, and very interesting history. So with that, I say thank you for coming, and miigwech, and enjoy the day. Miigwech.
Thank you, Chief Bull. And as we raise the flag here today, we acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Lac Seul First Nation within the area of Treaty 3. and that many of the people we serve in Sioux Lookout, formerly or once known in the Indigenous languages, Wananoungang. Many of the people also come from Treaties 5 and 9 to our north. I want to acknowledge Chief Bull's words. Meaningful, thoughtful, and thought-provoking. Thank you. And the book, thank you, Chief. You gave me a copy of this book several months ago. I read it, and it's always like The Knowing by Tanya Talego or Seven Fallen Feathers. There are many books out right now, and one of the things for us who live in this part of the world is it's fascinating reading. It's so meaningful, but so many of the names in the books are people we know or we know of or are related to people we know. So it's really good to read these books. I think it's for we who didn't experience it, I think it is an act of reconciliation to read and become more knowledgeable about this. So thank you. We're reading about the truth, and the truth, it can be inspiring as well as sad. So miigwech, Chief Bull. Is there anybody who would like to say anybody else who would like to say a few words here from the TRC, from Council? Brent, please step forward. Thank you. Brent Wesley, a member of our Truth and Reconciliation Committee, but I'm not sure who you're representing today.
The committee today, sure. Chief Bull was talking about some of the history, and I want to acknowledge some of that local history. And as we were at a sunrise ceremony this morning, and I was thinking about a lot of the people that before us and that have passed on, like Garnet, Ange Kanab, Lorraine Kenny, Ennis Fiddler. I think about these people and some of that work that they've done, and I'm missing names. I know I'm missing names. There's more people, because it was that work and that courage to come forth with that truth, to speak up, right, and talk about what had happened to them in the residential schools. Because for many of us, we didn't know that was going on. I didn't know that was going on in my own family. And because of that work, the Grand Chief, or the National Chief of the AFN, no, he was, I think he was the Assembly of Manitoba Chief's Grand Chief at the time, Phil Fontaine. He made national headlines for when he talked about his experience in a residential school and what had happened to him. And that had never happened before, to someone speak about that nationally. And I remember that as a young boy, someone doing that and wondering what happened to my family, and it woke something up, right? And it's because of the work of the local people like Garnet and Lorraine and Ennis that someone like that took the national stage, right? Set the stage for him to do that. So I just wanted to talk about some of that history and recognize that, because as we move forward with these events, and we're moving forward, right? But we can't forget where we came from and the people that led the charge initially. So, miigwech.
Miigwech, Brent. I want to acknowledge everybody that's here, acknowledge the police presence. They come every year, and this year it's a strong presence, so thank you for attending. And thank you to members of the public, the Truth and Reconciliation Committee, and members of Council and municipal staff for your work today. Thank you very much. Is there anybody else who would like to say anything? Chief Bull, thank you once again for coming in. Thank you, everybody, for attending. And there are other celebrations. I know there's a walk on Wednesday, and tomorrow there are events at the town beach, and there may be other events that I'm not aware of. So please participate, and thank you very, very much for being here. Miigwech.